Welcome, welcome. We're playing Limits or something. I don't know. I think we're just gonna get right into it, shall we? Um, by the way, what happened to the person you were talking to earlier? The lion person, I mean. I think his name was Oppenheimer or something. How do you know? Dave told me a little bit about him. Oh, I'm assuming Dave was the dragon you guys were talking to. Yeah. He seemed like a really nice man. Anyway, Oppenheimer was looking for the chief. The chief? Why? I don't know exactly the details. Wait, if he's gone to the chief's room, and I haven't seen him exit the building, then doesn't that mean... Yes, I think he's still in there. I'm going into the room with two intimidating individuals? Oh man, I hope everything's okay. What's wrong, Mr. Josh? You're looking a little pale. Oh, it's just that I'm a bit scared. I'm going to be in a room with the chief and a scary-looking lion. I'm not so thrilled on the idea. Oh, you'll be fine. I told you, didn't I? The chief is a good person. He won't let you be in any harm, even as intimidating as he is. I can't say much about Oppenheimer, though. But from the short conversation we had, he seems to be okay. I'm usually a good judge of character, too. That's comforting. Thanks, Sally. Anytime, dear. Well, we're here. As you reach the door to the chief's office, you are able to faintly hear voices talking with each other inside. Hey, Chief, I brought Mr. Josh here. May we come in? Ah, yes, come on in. As the door swinged open, on one of the chairs in front of the chief sat the lion figure that you briefly met earlier. His attention immediately shifted towards you the moment you step inside the room. His silver eyes glints as he eyes you with intent. Have a seat, Mr. Josh. Well, I'll be on my way if you don't mind, Chief. Ah, yes, of course. Thank you, Sally. See you later, Mr. Josh. The cat gave you a wave before strutting off with the door closing behind her. Man, this is intense. As you take a seat next to the big lion, you notice that he still had his attention focused on you. When you look back at him in the eye in an attempt to make him look away, his steadfast gaze still continued to bore into you. A few seconds later, you were forced to look away as you realized a similar feeling slowly building up within. Why is he staring at me like that? Ahem. Well, before we start, let me introduce you two to each other. Mr. Josh, this is Pierre. Yeah, Pierre Oppenheimer. And this is Mr. Josh Yorkie. What? How does he know my last name? I don't think I've told him before. Oh, didn't he say that he talked to Sally about me, though? Yeah, that must be it. Hey, Oppenheimer, nice to meet you. You try your best to look at him in the eyes as you meekly offer him a handshake. The lion gazes at you at your hand for a few seconds before extending his own. Nice to meet you, Mr. Yorkie. Yorkie? I'm probably saying this wrong. I just want to say York, you know, like one Mr. Francis York Morgan, but you know how it is. Pierre. Okay. His hold is firm, and you could feel the stability of his hand. His fur is warm to the touch, and the squishy part of his paw is tender. You were surprised back to reality as he released his grip from your hand. I did it again. This time the other person took the initiative, though. He definitely noticed that. You can just call me Mr. Josh. There is no need to call me with with the honorific. Oh, but he will. I am sorry, but I cannot accept that. It would be rude of me to call you by the rude of me to call the son of Yorka by his first name. Wait, what? Excuse me, the son of York? I'm afraid I'm not following what you said. You are the son of the aspiring and ambitious agent, yes? Or are you telling me this is simply a mere coincidence? Coincidence? What do you mean by that? Your eyes are the same as his. And your name, it couldn't be a mistake. Even your face, I could see remnants of his in it. Is he talking about my father? That can't be. How would he know anyway? Mr. Josh, I've been told by Mr. Oppenheimer that he's been here because of an unforeseen occurrence that had happened recently. He's been given a task by his higher-ups to seek the person who caused the disturbance. And from what he's gathered, all the theories seem to lead back to you, Mr. Josh. Me? How come? You see, Mr. York, I'm just gonna say York. Is that okay? Is it Yorkie? Yorkie? It's York. Our research group were able to detect a strange clump of fluctuating energies coming out of somewhere in the general vicinity of Ironhaven. Not only that, but it seems to have a similar nature to the energies that brought your father here as well. My father? So was that where my father had gone off to all this time? Wait, so why is my father really here? I'm afraid that I can't disclose that information. Why not? You snapped at the lion. Even so, the lion kept his composure as he stared back at you. I'm sorry, I lost my cool for a bit there. It's okay. I understand that receiving this information must have been quite heavy on you. Your reaction was warranted. You haven't answered the question. How are you certain that it's me, and it wasn't just some random energy turbulence or something? Those kinds of things happen, right? I'm not exactly an expert in theoretical science, but if that's the case, then tell me, Mr. York. Why are you here? No. How did you get here? What kind of question is that? What I am getting at is, you are not from this world, yes? Your eyes, they're like the eyes of someone who was out of their place, like a fish on land, so to speak. What? Fish? I'm not like a fish, though. I can breathe here, too. Maybe fish is not the right term, but I hope that you understand what at least I'm trying to imply. How does he know anything about me? I've only told Gran and Dave, and how I think I got here, and Gran didn't mention any of that to the chief either. I don't buy any of this. Perhaps this picture will convince you. The lion gingerly takes out his wallet, pulling out a small portrait of what appears to be a human. He held the picture in front of you, and allowing you a better view. This can't be possible. There on the picture is the face of a man. A man closely resembles you. That could just be a doppelganger. My father disappeared when I was young. There's no possible way that he's here. Do you really think so, Mr. York? Where do you think he has gone off to? How the hell should I know? I was just a kid back then. Everyone told me that he went rogue, which was why he left me and my mom all by ourselves. Do you truly believe that, Mr. York? Your eyes, they speak your emotions. I could see a glint of hope. You don't really believe what they are, what they said, do you? You couldn't help but slouch down as you cover your face, with both of your hands, your arms resting on your knees. There was a moment of silence. So what now? We will need to verify your DNA to see if you really are his offspring before we can take the next step. I don't think it's necessary now that I've met you in person, but we are still going to do it. Just to be safe. Excuse me. What is that, the second time I've sneezed in a playthrough? Been recording for like 2 months now. That's pretty good. Oh man, that's weird to think about. That I've been attempting to like upload things for like 2 months. That's weird. I have so many videos on this channel now. That kind of exploded. There was like 2 before, and now there's like 80. Whatever. Why should I trust you? A good question. You don't have to, but I believe this will help you. If I may interject here. Oppenheimer works in a commendable company. Commendable? Yep, that's the word. I can read. So I think it's safe to say that his intentions are well. That may be true, but companies are like that, aren't they? Nice on the outside, but the inside can tell a different story. Looks like I'm going to have to take another sleep. Do you need my hair or something? We'll need a more proper sample. I'd say some saliva would suffice for the verification. Okay, let's just get this over with. There is no need to be so eager, Mr. York. How do you think I'm going to carry that sample? I don't know, a tube or something? And did you think I have any of that on me? I guess not. So, what do you propose? I shall return here to pick you up sometime in the morning tomorrow. We'll be going to the research facility that is associated with our company. That is where we will conduct the testing. Testing? He's not going to poke me with a needle, is he? Just to be clear, we're only there to take my saliva sample, right? Yes, and if you appear to truly be the son of Mr. York, then we'll also be commencing some physical examinations. Don't I have a say in this? Of course you do. You may refuse to do anything, and I will simply be on my way. But, from what I've gathered so far, it doesn't seem like you have anywhere else to go, do you? Don't you think that it's foolish to simply pass the opportunity to find the truth? From the sound of it, you were quite hopeful in the matter regarding your father, too. Do you think this is still a coincidence? I really don't like it, but he speaks the truth. If my DNA matches whatever this York person is, then that picture would really be my father. After all these years, this might be the closest chance I'll ever get to finding out the truth. To think that all I need to do was to get teleported to a different world. You still seem unsure. How about you think about it for a day and tell me your decision tomorrow? Do you have a phone with you? No, I've only got an orb with me when I ended up here. An orb? I see. Well, it looks like I have nothing else to discuss, so I will be on my way. I appreciate your time, Mr. Forsberg? Forsberg. Thank you. I'm happy to help. Thank you for your time, too, Mr. York. I'll be seeing you tomorrow morning. Ah, yes, no problem. The lion got up from his seat to exit the room. He gave you a last glance before turning the knob. You were distracted with your own thoughts to notice. All these years, this is where he might have been? Are you alright, Mr. Josh? Mr. Josh? Oh, yes, sorry. I've been thinking about things. Sal? Could come over to my office for a second. Yes, he's with me. Please come. Thank you. So, your father, huh? Where, do you know where he is? I don't. He's been missing for the majority of my life. That I forgot what he's even like. I was so young back then, when he suddenly went missing. All this talk about the possibility of finding my father here is giving me a massive headache. This feeling that I have, I don't know if it's sadness or anger. Am I angry that he disappeared out of my life just like that? Or do I miss him? I'm not really sure how I feel. Chief, I'm coming in. Oh dear, Mr. Josh, you're crying. I'm crying? You raise your hand to wipe your face, and it turns out that the feline lady was right. There was a smudge of wet tear on your hand. Here, have some tissues. She took a couple paper of tissues from the chief's tissue box and handed them to you. Thank you, Sally. Chief, what happened here? Sorry, I'm not really sure myself. Although I think it has something to do with his father. His father? Yeah, his father has been missing for the majority of his life, and hearing the news of that his father may possibly be here has thrown him for a loop. That's terrible. Stay here for a bit, all right, dear? I'll go get you something to drink. It's fine, Sally. You don't have to do that. I insist, so stay here. All right then. The polar bear on the opposite side of you took a deep breath before letting it out. Hey, Mr. Josh. Sorry that I can't comfort you. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. I can't imagine what you've been through either, so I don't have the right to say anything. But let it be clear that, as chief of this police department, it is my duty to ensure the safety of everyone here. And that includes you hear? So, if you've got any problem or need someone to lend an ear, just come over to me, alright? Why me, though? I'm just a stranger to this town. I haven't done anything notable either. That may be true, but Gran and Sally seem to have taken quite a liking to you. And that itself speaks volume. And I think that you seem to be a good person too. So chin up, yeah? You gave out a weak chuckle, a smile slowly forming on your face. Yeah, okay, I'll try. And he says that he's bad at comforting other people. Thanks, Chief. I'm happy to help. Hey, Mr. Josh, would you like to come with me and Sally to get some lunch? We could get some donuts or bagels. Why did he stutter at the beginning like that? It's kind of cute. I don't want to impose, Chief. Besides, I don't have any money on me, and I'm on probation, right? Yes, you are under probation. Which means that you are under the police station's care. Which also means that you are under my care. You feel your cheeks warming up. My care? Does he not realize how embarrassing that sounds? Didn't I mention that you're allowed to leave this building? That you're allowed to leave this building when you're under supervision of someone from this department too. Who's better than the chief himself? So, what do you say? He's pretty lenient. Not sure if that's a good or bad thing. I guess I'll go then. I think a change of scenery would do me some good. Good. Hey, dear, I'm back. Here, I got you a warm cup of chocolate and a granola bar. The cat leader hands you a warm paper cup and a snack bar. Oh, thank you, Sally. You're really sweet, you know that? Oh, stop it, you. You took a sip of the cocoa. Oh man, this stuff is great. Hey, Sal, would you like to come with us to get some lunch? Oh, I think lunch sounds wonderful. I take it Mr. Josh is coming as well? Yes, he is. Awesome. When are we leaving? We can leave as soon as Mr. Josh is done with his drink. Oh, in any case, let me grab my purse and then we can meet up by the parking lot, okay? All right. I'll see you out in a bit. You've had donuts before, right? Yes, we have those back in my world too. I don't think a lot of people would consider them as lunch though. I guess it's different, it's just different here. Ah, I see. Just making sure. You quickly finish the the chocolate drink that Sally had made you and properly dispose of the paper cup. You kept the granola bar with you in your pocket. You've attained a granola bar. There's not an inventory thing. What's the point of that line? Am I gonna give it to Gran as a gift? Am I gonna re-gift it? That'll be cute. Here, Gran, have a granola bar. After you take care of your mess, the polar bear was silent for the moment, and then you see him looking at you in the eyes. Oh, hey, Mr. Josh. You'll be okay, all right? So try not to worry too much. With a kind smile, he slowly walked up to you and put a big arm around your upper back, gently tapping the side of your shoulder as he leads you out of the room. Shall we? You couldn't help but blush and avert your gaze down as you follow along with his lead. You weren't able to form a response, so you simply give him a curt nod. Why is he like this? At some point along the way, the polar bear releases you. As the two of you made your way towards the back entrance, you notice that the chief brought his hat along with him. Sally joined up with you not too long after. The three of you gather by the vehicle that looks quite similar to the ones you've seen back on your world. It reminds me of that car type. What was it? Something Rover? Anyway, it looks really nice. I bet the seats are comfy too. Oh, okay, they just like slap. Okay. Just put a hat on it. Automatically makes it better. Oh, I can't wait to eat them already. Yeah, that's what that said. Are you sure it's okay for both of you to leave the building? It's okay, dear. I've already asked Jacob and Steve if they could cover it for a while. The cat instantly winks at you. Besides, if something big comes up, they've got our phones and walkie-talkies right here. We'll be able to respond right away. Why were you winking at Mr. Josh, Sal? Oh, it's nothing, you big bear. Okay. Did he just blush? It's kind of hard to read his face. Maybe I was just seeing things. Let's get going. Sally, you can sit on the front if you like. Oh, what a gentleman. Thank you, dear. All buckled up? Yes, sir. All right, we're moving. The car ride wasn't as long as you thought. You arrive at the destination after only a short while. Still, along the way, you notice the traffic has picked up quite a bit in comparison to earlier. The car seemed to have stopped in front of a building with the name. Wait, isn't that Bunkin' Donuts? Wait, that exists here? Actually, no, it's spelled differently. What is that? Bunkin' Donuts? Mr. Josh, why are you laughing? Did something funny happen? Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about me. What kind of name is that? Okay. Anyway, what do you guys want to get? You're probably going to ask for some chocolate donuts, Chief. But what about you, Mr. Josh? Am I that predictable? But yes, I'll get some of those, please. Should I come with you, Sally? Oh, no, Mr. Josh. It's okay, I can go by myself. I don't think it's going to take long, so just sit tight, okay? Okay, then. So, what'll it be? I don't exactly know what to get, since the menu might be different, but I think I can play it safe by getting something standard. I think I'll get the... Okay, so I've never liked bagels. Does that make me a heathen? We'll just go with sugar glazed donut. I'll get the sugar glazed donut. Oh, you might get some of those too. I might get some of those too. Wait here, I'll be right back. Hold on, Sal. Take some money with you. Take some of my money. Use them all if you'd like. It's my treat. Oh, how generous of you. Thanks, Chief. I'll be back. As the sound of the door closing fades, the whole car becomes silent. You hear the Chief slowly tapping the steering wheel with his finger at the rhythm, but not other than that, you could only hear the ambient sounds from outside. You didn't know what to do, so you simply stared outside the window as you gaze at the cars passing by. A couple minutes have passed until the Chief finally decides to say something. So, Mr. Josh, how are you feeling? Oh, I think I'm feeling better after a change of scenery. Thanks for asking. Oh, good. That's good. Silence again. You like sugar, huh? I'm more of a chocolate person. Oh, yes, I've noticed. Yep. Honestly, I'd probably chosen something else, but I wasn't sure what's on the menu. Maybe I should have insisted on going with Sally. Cool. From where you're sitting, you could see that the Chief's face from the car's visor. His face is a mix of pensiveness and guilt. Pensiveness. Okay, that's a word. Why is his face looking like that? Is he trying to cheer me up, but is unsure what to do? It's rather considerate of him, but I don't want him to be feeling like that the whole time. What to do? Maybe I'll try starting a conversation. Hey, Chief, can I ask you something? Oh yeah. What would you like to know, Mr. Josh? Why did you become a police officer? Or chief, rather. Well, I think a huge part of it is because my old man was one. Being a police officer kind of runs in the family. Do you enjoy it, though? I mean, working on as one. I've come to enjoy it eventually. Eventually? It's a bit embarrassing. But I wasn't really keen on becoming one when I was younger. I suppose it was because of the fact that this profession of mine was sort of forced upon me, you know. Since my parents were a part of the police force back in their day, I had a feeling that I was expected to become one as well. Like father, like son. Or so they say. I thought to myself, what if I wanted to become an artist or something? Why am I expected to follow in my father's footsteps? I think that stressed me out a lot, more than I care to admit. I was quite a rebellious child back in the days because of that. I wasn't sure if I was frustrated at myself or my parents. Should I have been angrier? Maybe less? Or maybe not at all. What's past is in the past, though. Over time, I've come to appreciate the things that police officers do. And eventually, I ended up joining one. Now we're here. You were a rebel? Oh, yeah. Did plenty of bad things. Some I even regret on doing. I didn't do anything major, though. Honestly, most just minor nuisances and such. Still, I guess what you did in the past will decide what you become in the present. That was a bit cheesy. Wow, I didn't expect that from the Chief. I guess everyone does have their own fair share of backstory, huh? Sorry that I bored you. I ramble on for quite a while there. Oh, I wasn't bored. I thought that it might be interesting, Chief. Interesting as in, I guess in a way that it helps me understand you better. I mean, relax, Mr. Josh. I understand what you're trying to say. Oh, okay. Well, I never thought that you had to deal with something like that in the past. I really can't say that I'm able to relate with what you went through, though. My mom was very supportive of me. She never really forced anything on me either. Well, except for one self-defense class. That's okay though. I thought it was an interesting experience. I even I even know how to do a couple of moves to defend myself now, so I won't be totally helpless to in an unforeseen event of someone trying to mug me. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that it was all good in the end. Your mother sounds like a wonderful person. But sorry, did I hear you say was? Does that mean yeah, she passed away a month or so ago. I've been living alone ever since. At least until I got here. Now I am hearing the news that my father might still be alive out there somewhere. You gave out a nervous laugh. My condolences, Mr. Josh. It's not easy to be living alone in the world. Well, there's not much I can do except move on, is there? So I'll do just that. You give him a weak smile as the polar bear as the polar bear turns his head and looks at you in the eye. You look back at his eyes and you can see a glint in his eyes, a mix of admiration and worry. A familiar feeling starts to make its way onto your cheeks. Before it got too long, you averted your gaze towards the car window as you stare back at the passing cars, feeling embarrassed. You're quite an optimist, huh? Some people said that I am. I think that it's a nice trait to have. What was that, Chief? It's nothing. But thanks for listening in and sharing. Oh, thank you for listening to me and helping me out, too. The polar bear beamed a warm smile at you before averting his gaze back towards the front. What is this feeling? Let's turn on the radio, shall we? Okay. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is your host, Roger. I hope you are having a fine day in this warm afternoon. Ironhaven is quiet as always, but that doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. Because don't forget, Halloween is just around the corner. I hope that you've got all your costumes ready, and you better be ready to spook and be spooked. Me? I'm ready for anything. Speaking of spooky, there has been some rumors about something strange going on, just right around the outskirts of town. If you're wise, I think that it's best to steer clear from that area, because only God knows what you'll find there. Just to be clear to the kiddies who might be tuning in, this is a warning and not some invitation, got it? I swear if I hear any reports of some kids hurting themselves there, I'm gonna be knocking on your door. Just kidding. But please, don't do anything rash, kiddos. Well, that's all I've got to say for now. Stay safe, people. This is your host, signing out. Wow, Halloween exists here? Sweet. Wait, something strange going on. He's not referring to me, is he? Or at least the energy turbulence that Oppenheimer mentioned earlier. I think he was. I hope it's just that, and nothing scary actually happened. Who knows? Maybe it's Bigfoot. Bigfoot? Oh man. Those things actually exist here? Huh? You're kidding me. You jumped on your seat as you grabbed the side of the front passenger seat, your body leaning towards the space in the front two seat. Yeah. Your sudden movement and enthusiasm made the polar bear jump as well. He turned his head at you as he tried to calm down his trembling hands. Gah? Whoa, Mr. Josh, relax. I was only joking. Those things don't exist, just some fairy tales made up to scare children. Ah, I see. You released your hold as you deflate back to lean in your seat. Man, I was kinda hoping that they do exist here. Kinda wanna see how they'd look. Some species closely resemble how they are portrayed in books, though. Huh? Like Yetis? Yes, actually, Yetis. How do you know? I thought you weren't from here. Wow, I didn't actually think that I'd get it right. I was just throwing some random fantasy creature name. Lucky guess, but are you serious? Oh, yes. They're not scary like Bigfoot, though. They're actually really nice people who tend to keep keep to themselves. Where do they live? Usually by snowy mountains or somewhere cold. They have got a lot of fur on them, so they can't really handle warmer climates. How come you're around here? What do you mean? I mean, aren't polar bears supposed to live in the colder regions? How do you know I was a polar bear? Were there polar bears back in your world too? I think I'm having a deja vu. Tigers do exist, but they aren't able to hold up a conversation like you. Hello, Mr. Josh? Are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. You've yet to answer my question. You take a deep breath. Okay, so basically, you spent more than a few minutes talking to how polar bears do exist in your world and how different they are here. You didn't think that the polar bear would care that much, but he seems to be fully engrossed in listening to your explanation. Occasionally, he would ask why and how questions at you. You tried answering them as best you can. Interesting. Hence, that is why I thought that you'd prefer living in colder climates. I guess polar bears here are just a little different then, huh? If you call having the ability to communicate to be a little different, then I guess sure. But don't you have a lot of fur? Doesn't it get hot when you go outside? I feel like that applies to every other species that has fur, Mr. Josh. Besides, you seem grand, right? That cat probably has thicker fur than me, and he's fine, isn't he? I guess. You don't believe me? Here. The polar bear extends a big arm towards you. See for yourself. What am I supposed to do? Doesn't he think this is a bit embarrassing? What do you think? What do you want me to do? Just look at it. Were you expecting something else? Oh man, I thought he wanted me to... bad thoughts, go away. Oh no. Well, let's see here. You lean your head towards it to try and take a closer look. From where your face is, you can smell his cologne and a hint of musk. I never really noticed it before, but he smells quite good. Oh, I don't know, Chief. I can't really tell the difference. The polar bear retreats his hand. Ah, well. Still, you should probably stop generalizing the species here with the species you have back on your world. Some of the people are going to have a bit of a short temper, so to say. So you probably don't want to unintentionally insult someone. He's right. I need to stop comparing the people here to the animals back in my world. At least not verbally. I don't think I can just stop completely, though, to be honest. Thanks for the advice, Chief. Happy to help. After the conversation died down, you returned back to idly gazing at the cars passing by. The Chief, on the other hand, was humming a cheerful tune, tapping away at his steering wheel. Whenever you turn your attention towards the visor, sometimes you could briefly see that the Chief was looking at you before he looks away. At some point, you manage to catch him in the act. He simply smiles before looking away again. Why does he keep doing that? Who am I kidding? I think it's rather cute. Not again. We literally just met today. After you caught him looking at you, he stopped doing it anymore, but instead focused his attention towards his phone. Nothing more happened as you wait for Sally to come back. After what seems like a few more minutes of being idle, you can see the feline walking towards the car, carrying stacks of boxes. Oh look, Sally is back. The front door of the car swings open. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry that it took a little while. There was quite a line in there. Oh, really? Sorry to make you stand in line, Sal. Oh, it's fine. You paid for it anyway, right? And even if you didn't, I would be fine still. Well, if you say so. Thanks, Sal. Hey, Mr. Josh, would you mind holding a couple of boxes for me? I'm running out of space in the front. Ah, yes, of course. Just pass them to me. The feline lady passes a couple of regular-sized boxes of donuts and bagels. Thank you, dear. This is a lot of donuts and bagels. Ah, yes, it is. We'll be sharing them while with the others who are on duty today. You know, back in my world, buying donuts is a stereotypical thing for an officer. Oh yeah? Why is that? I'm not really sure. I actually do have a small understanding of the stereotype, but I think it's best to keep it to myself. Well, whatever it is, who cares? Who doesn't like donuts or bagels? Every now and then. Yeah, you're right. I'm guessing we're going back. Yep. The chief won't let us anyone eat in his car. Yes, please don't eat in my car. Noted. Well, what are we waiting for, Chief? I'm starving. Yes, of course. All of you buckled up, right? We're moving. The ride back to the police station was smooth. Nothing much happened, really. Other than the occasional chat that happens between you and Sally. The chief, on the other hand, was mostly focused on driving. Sometimes, though, you noticed him looking at you through the visor of the car. You didn't know how to react to, so you simply smiled and averted your gaze to the car window. Once the three of you were parked and got out of the vehicle, the three of you walked inside the lounge room carrying boxes of donuts and bagels. Sally excluded herself for the moment to look for the other officers who are standing by. A few moments pass, and the room is filled with officers. Some of them took a share of the donuts and bagels and excluded themselves out of the room. I think I'm gonna cut it here. That seems fine, you know. Start of a new scene. That'll do. Yeah. So we'll just... I don't know. I'm terrible at ending these, aren't I? But whatever. See you around, everyone.